Hi, this is Dave Birmingham from SIOS Technology. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how DataKeeper Standard Edition can provide disaster recovery for your Hyper-V deployment. You see here I have a Hyper-V server running a virtual machine called SQL1 on the server called Primary. Secondary currently has no virtual machines running. What we're going to do is replicate the virtual machine SQL1 from the primary server to the secondary server. SQL1 is located on the F drive. We see the virtual hard disk here, and the virtual machine is currently running. So what we're going to do is use the DataKeeper interface to create a mirror of the F drive from the primary server to the secondary server. We'll go ahead and launch the wizard to replicate the F drive from primary to secondary. It's a simple three-step wizard. Choose first the primary server, the IP address we want to use for the replication traffic, and the volume that we want to replicate, which in this case is the F drive. The secondary server, it's all selected for us. The IP looks good, the volume looks good. And then finally, whether we want to do synchronous or asynchronous replication. Synchronous is great for local area networks. For wide area networks, asynchronous with compression might be your best choice. And we also have the option for a bandwidth throttle to limit the amount of bandwidth we use in asynchronous replication. For our cases, we'll choose synchronous replication since this is a local area network. I'll click Done. And this will create a mirror of the F drive from the primary server to the secondary server. So now that the mirror is created, we will wait for the replication to complete, and then I'll show you how to create a to recover in the event of a disaster. So see, we are resyncing over 500 megabytes of data from the primary to the secondary server. Once this completes, we'll be able to initiate the disaster recovery plan. Now that the mirror has completed the resynchronization process, we're able to recover the running virtual machine that's currently running on the primary server on the secondary server. The way we can do that is through the DataKeeper interface. We have a few options, but one option is to switch the mirror directions. So we will go ahead and click on Switch Over Mirrors, and we will choose the secondary server as the new source of the mirror. Click OK. And now the F drive in a moment will be the primary. We will switch from the primary server to the secondary server. So we see now that the secondary server is the source of the mirror, and it's now replicating back to the primary server. So we'll go here to the secondary server. We'll see that there's no running virtual machines currently on the secondary server. So what we will need to do is provision a new virtual machine based upon that replicated VHD file. So on the secondary server, we will choose a new virtual machine. We will call it SQL1. Generation 1, memory, and we will use an existing virtual hard disk. In this case, we will browse to the F drive and choose SQL1 VHDX. And now we have SQL1 running on the secondary server without having to bring down the primary server at all.